The area is soon to be treated with some enchanted evening. Learn about it coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at the Fox 43 studio. We're focused on the Conway Medical Center Foundation, and we're visiting with its executive director, Berns Massey. Good morning, Berns.
Morning, Greg.
Thanks so much for getting in.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity.
It's just so exciting to think we're this close now, less than 2 weeks away from y'all's winter gala, the Some Enchanted Evening.
That's correct. We've been working on it for several months. The committee's been meeting on a regular basis, and things are coming together.
I think I heard over the weekend that y'all are almost sold out.
That's correct. We expect to have around 430 people there. That's how many we have. We have 43 tables of 10, and my last count was we had 8 or 9 tables left.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, now by the time, obviously, sometime this week you could be sold out. Would there be an opportunity, even if you all are sold out, are there still things that folks can do to help make that a big event?
Oh, certainly. We would appreciate any help from anyone. We have a silent auction that we hold at the beginning of the event during our reception and silent auction. We are looking for items for the silent auction. We would appreciate anything that anyone might be able to do for us.
Okay. And the best way to reach the office, is that the 843-347-8058 number?
That's correct.
Okay,
that's
great.
correct. And talk to any of the 3 of us there in the office.
When you say any of the 3 of us, who's that, Berns?
Well, myself as the executive director, Jessica Sasser, who is our director of special events and annual giving, and Jessica is the one who kind of spearheads this event and our other events too, and Tina Floyd, who is our administrative assistant there. Mm-hmm. Tina's been there the longest. She probably knows more than any of us.
Yeah, I think I saw in y'all's annual report that she'd been there right at a decade now.
That's right. That's right.
And that Jessica had been there for 4 years, and fortunately, they were so blessed to get you on board just a couple years ago.
Well, I'm the one that feels very blessed to be a part of it. Mm-hmm. It's been a good change for me, and it's been quite an opportunity. Mm-hmm. Get a lot of support from our hospital staff, from the employees in the hospital, and also from our medical staff.
Well, let's talk real quick about yourself first before getting into the foundation itself. Are you originally from the area, Berns?
Yeah, I was born in Conway, and raised here. Worked for my father up until I graduated from college.
Is that right? When
Yes.
you say I worked for my dad, what was that first childhood job?
Well, I don't know if it's politically correct nowadays, but I used to stamp cigarettes for my dad, and he was in the wholesale grocery business, and that was part of the job that needed to be done. So I think I started doing that when I was in the 2nd grade. And just for after-school work.
In the 2nd grade, Berns?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Good for you. That's great.
Well, it was a good opportunity. I always had a little spending money. My friends didn't have much, but I always had just a little bit of pocket change.
Berns is the one to hit up for candy money.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
That is great. That is great. Where'd you go off to school?
I went to the University of South Carolina, graduated there in 75. My wife is also a University of South Carolina graduate, and came back to Conway after that.
Now, did you meet your wife in Columbia, or did you know her from Horry County?
Oh, I knew her from Horry County. We were high school sweethearts.
Is that right,
Yeah.
Berns? What's that like, marrying your high school sweetheart?
Well, for us, it's been great.
Great.
You wouldn't expect me to say anything else on TV.
No, that's right. That's exactly right. Well, how exciting.
But it is great. We have a good marriage. We have 2 children. A 25-year-old and a 19-year-old.
And are they here in the county? Are they close
No,
by?
my son lives in Charlotte, and my daughter is now a sophomore at Carolina.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, you know, a lot of our viewers, of course, are in North Carolina, so when they hear Carolina, they think of a different one.
Well, this is Garnet and Black Carolina.
There we are. Good answer. Good answer. I think I saw in reading about you, Berns, that you went on and did some postgraduate work at the University of Texas. Was it in community banking? Was
That's
that after
correct.
you'd been in banking already, or for a while?
Oh, yeah. I had been in banking for several years when I attended the community banking school at the University of Texas in Austin. And this was actually a 3-year program that a couple of us went through at the bank. And it was such a good experience to be able to meet other people from all over the country, to get to know them, and to spend weeks with them each year. So it was a valuable asset for me. Even though I'm not in banking now, I look back on it as being very valuable and a real good learning experience.
Is that community banking center still in existence?
It is not. With all the mergers and all the acquisitions, now everything has gone under the American Bankers Association. So that particular association of community bankers is no longer in existence.
Within the last 3 weeks, Tommy Bouchette's been with us from Sun Bank, and David Morrow from Crescent Bank, and Walt Standish from Beach First, and we've learned so much about community banking and the excitement that really happens still. And I guess always, as you say, with mergers and acquisitions, there's still that desire to have, much like your position now with Conway Medical Center Foundation, to really get involved in the community. I guess being part of a community bank really helped open a lot of doors.
Oh, it really did. Just the contacts that I would have, or anyone would have, in a community bank, and the acquaintances you and the people you get to know, is so valuable. It really is. And it's been a positive part of my change from banking to nonprofit work. It's been a good part of that.
I hate to say it, Berns, but I think I saw that you were a quarter of a century at the same within a bank. Was it all at People's Federal?
Yes, it was. I had several positions with the bank, but stayed with the same bank for 25 years.
That is fantastic. Was that a community bank based in Horry County?
Yes, it was a savings and loan that was based in Horry County. It was actually People's Federal Savings and Loan Association.
Right.
And we went through a charter change when I was there from People's Savings and Loan to People's Federal Savings and Loan, and then it was later bought out by First Financial Holdings. And I actually worked for them while they were part of First Financial Holdings for 10 years. And just in the last few years, the name has been changed to First Federal.
First Federal, that's right.
Correct.
Let's get on into the Conway Medical Center Foundation, Berns. I think you said that Tina had been there almost a decade now, so the foundation's at least a decade old. How long has it been around?
It was actually chartered in 1988. And with a mission to assist Conway Hospital in their outreach programs and in their educational and scholarship programs, and to improve the health of those we serve in the Conway Medical Center area.
So it used to be the Conway Hospital Foundation, I guess, and then you all went through a name change, or the hospital is now the Conway Medical Center.
That's correct.
Okay.
Our facility consists of so much more than just the hospital. We have a wellness center on site on our same campus. Also on campus is Kingston Nursing Center. In addition, we own the Aner Family Practice over in Aner, and also Rivertown Family Practice in Conway. So medical center kind of encompasses all of those things, and we feel like gives a better view of what we actually are.
Now, the Conway Medical Center in itself is a community hospital, or is it a 501c3? I mean, is it a not-for-profit hospital as well?
Yes, it is. And as a matter of fact, Conway Medical Center, is not-for-profit. Conway Medical Center Foundation is also not-for-profit, and a for-profit institution cannot establish a foundation such as ours.
Okay. A for-profit institution, like a corporation, could not establish, a for-profit corporation could not establish a not-for-profit foundation.
That's correct. Because that not-for-profit foundation is, of course, going to be for the benefit of that entity, whether it's for that nonprofit entity.
Well, that's a great reason why much of the I think before we started talking, the excitement of seeing that so many of the expenses, if not almost all of the expenses, at least all the administrative expenses, are covered by the Conway Medical Center, so that y'all, virtually every penny of every dollar donated to the foundation goes straight to those targeted areas.
That's correct. Conway Medical Center is such a good supporter of the foundation, and all of those funds, it just enables us to do so much with the funds that we have. We're able to do more outreach into the community, things that the medical center could not do. For example, the health reach van that goes out into the community, breast cancer screenings, prostate screenings, things like that are available to the community that may not otherwise be available were it not for these, for the foundation and for the assistance that they're able to give to the hospital. The hospital gives it right back to us, I'll tell you that.
It is amazing, Berns. Now, are there some examples of other community hospitals, let's say within our viewing area, like in the PD, or I don't know if you're aware of any in southeastern North Carolina? Is McLeod similar to Conway Medical Center?
McLeod is. Also, Loris Healthcare System is. And there are several in the area, and I can't name them all, but
Georgetown maybe
Georgetown is also.
Now Grand Strand Regional Medical Center would be a part of a for-profit group, or Carolinas Hospital. Mm-hmm.
That's correct.
I think I've seen, and it's fascinating to see how community hospitals operate.
Yeah, it's I think that the care at a community hospital is superb. We give superb care. We don't have all the specialties that some of the larger hospitals have, but we have access to those specialties when they're needed. But community hospitals operate in a very caring manner that I think is important to our patients and our patients' families.
So the foundation was set up in 1988.
Correct.
And y'all have, how exactly does a foundation work, Berns? For viewers who may not be, they hear words like endowment and foundation. Do those work inextricably? I mean, do they work hand in hand, or are they different, or how does that work exactly?
Well, they do, and you hear a lot about things like the endowment that Harvard has, or that Yale has, or Duke. And of course, the Duke endowment, if I could digress just a moment,
please.
The Duke endowment is a big supporter of Conway Medical Center. They've provided us with funds for to help establish a free medical clinic. They've provided us with funds to purchase a van for our Kingston Nursing Center. And we are constantly asking for assistance from them for various projects. And they also support other hospitals in the area. They support Loris Hospital. They support Georgetown Hospital also. They're just a big supporter of community nonprofit hospitals. So we're fortunate to be one of their hospitals. But I'd like to get back to the question on the foundation. The foundation is the fundraising arm, basically, of the hospital. We raise funds through donations, we raise funds through special events, and we raise funds through endowments. Currently, we have, I think, 13 named endowments. Those endowments, those funds are used to help with scholarships. They're used to help with children's causes. They're used to help with general causes of the hospital, whatever the cause may be. We have a new endowment that was established to help with pathological care in the hospital, pathological services, I should say, in the hospital. That with the endowments, as I'm sure most of the viewers know, that money is set aside, and only the earnings on that money can be used. So once an endowment is set up, it's perpetual. People do continue to make donations to the endowment so that it will build up, it'll earn more interest, and more funds will be available for whatever the cause may be.
So the principal can't be touched. You can only utilize the interest then?
That's correct.
Oh,
That's correct.
Okay. Now, when folks make donations to that endowment, does it add to the principal?
That's correct.
Okay.
It does add to the principal. When we are currently in the process of our community campaign, and we have sent out several thousand letters to various people in the community for assistance with those, and they can actually choose on the card where they would like their funds to go, whether it be unrestricted, whether it be to any of the funds, Health Reach, or any one of the endowments that they may want to put their funds to.
So if someone said, I really want to reach, let's say, diabetes this year, right now, and use all of my money going straight to diabetes just for this year,
right,
they probably then wouldn't go into an endowment, because much of that would just be the interest off of that income. Instead, they would possibly just go straight into one of your many services that would focus, let's say, on diabetes.
Well, that's correct, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because we have established, or we are establishing now, a diabetes self-education management program at Conway Medical Center, and that's one of the prime causes that we are pushing this year. And we have our Life Matters magazine, which is our annual report for the foundation, has included an article on diabetes. You know, diabetes it affects so many people in the county. I mean, nationwide, it affects well over 4% of the population, and in Horry County, it affects over 8.5% of the population.
Kidding. More than double the national average.
That's right. That's right. And South Carolina is in the 7% range. So it's a disease that affects every function of the body, practically. And we are trying to raise funds to set up a program to educate persons with diabetes on how they can manage their disease, possibly through some medication, but so many times, so many times it can be managed through proper diet, a little bit of exercise, and it just people need training on what to eat, when to eat, and what they need to do to manage the disease.
What a great byproduct about being involved in the foundation, Berns. You're able to learn also some of the things that the medical center is particularly focused on, some of the things that you all really want to reach out into the community and touch. I mean, what a great byproduct.
Well, it really has been, and whether it's Health Reach, whether it's scholarships, or whether it's a particular problem that we, like diabetes, that is so prevalent here in the county, it's exciting to be able to learn about those things and to be able to do something that really can make a difference in the community.
So if someone this year in 2004 really wanted to have an impact to fight diabetes, this would be a great example.
That's correct.
In the name of that, if someone was to call your office and ask about that, the name of that, it's a health management?
Well, it's Diabetes Self-Education Management Program. Okay. And on our cards and information that we send out, we call it the Diabetes Initiative.
Okay.
So properly, if someone wanted to make a donation to the Diabetes Initiative, that's what they could tell us.
Sorry, not to cut you off. I mean, that's so important. If someone didn't get that print material from you, could they call your office, the 347-8058 number, to get some of that info?
Oh, we'd be happy to send any information to them. Information on diabetes, any of the other programs, or on our events.
Okay. How about, we got about 5 minutes, Berns. How about like memorial gifts or planned gifts or some of the other types of gifts? What are examples of those? Well,
memorial gifts typically come in either when a person names Conway Medical Center as a memorial for the deceased person, or we have people who are just particular friends of the foundation who may send a memorial in the name of someone who has recently died. Of course, when those memorials come in, we notify the family of the person who has been honored in that way, and then we, of course, notify the giver that we have received their gift. And we receive memorials just really on a constant basis, and
right?
It is, it's a real blessing for us to be able to receive those. As far as planned giving, we do have a planned giving program that is getting established at the present time, and that could include anything from charitable gift annuities to other types of planned gifts, whether it be from the states or whether it be from an immediate charitable remainder trust. And I could get into that a little bit, but it gets complicated, and I don't think we have enough time.
No, and I sure wanted to spend a little time focusing on, other than the Winter Gala, Some Enchanted Evening.
Right.
That's on the 24th of this month.
That's coming up on January 24th.
And that's where, Berns?
At Kingston Plantation.
Okay, great.
The event will start at 6 with the reception and the silent auction. It will move into the dining room for the meal, followed by entertainment by the Men of Distinction.
The Men of Distinction are playing?
Yeah.
You're kidding. That is huge.
We're real excited to have them. It'll be a fun evening.
Oh, yeah, Berns. We were so excited last year. You know, Fox 43 got involved, and I was excited to see some of the folks. I think when you and I talked back in November and early December about the opportunity, was excited to see so many of the sponsors that have gotten back on board this year. This will be a huge event.
Oh, it really will. And you're right. People have sponsored it so well, and everybody seems to have such a good time. This will be our fourth year.
Great.
And it's just continued to grow, and the excitement has remained. We have a new theme each year. This year, Some Enchanted Evening. It'll be a South Pacific theme.
Oh, yeah.
So look for tiki huts and rainforests and things like that.
Well, there are so many amazing events on the Strand. Of course, Berns, you know, tomorrow, Tammy Eves, who's a mutual friend of ours, coming in to pump up the Heart Ball, which is our 10th annual. So if y'all are in your 4th, then obviously that's a good sign that these can go for many, many years to come.
Right. And of course, Conway Medical Center supports the Heart Ball.
Absolutely.
And what a nice evening that always is. And I enjoy working with Tammy and the group on the Heart Ball.
Berns, since we just got a couple minutes, what are the other big events during the year that the community, whether it's here in Horry County or folks in the PD in southeastern North Carolina, that may have heard about some of the other amazing events that Conway Medical Center Foundation puts on?
Well, we have 3 events during the year, and it's amazing. They just, I don't think we did it on purpose, but they come about every 4 months, or right at 4 months. We have the Winter Gala at the end of January. On Memorial Day weekend, we have the Kingston Golf Classic, which is played at Wild Wing Plantation. And then in the fall, we have Rhythm on the River, which is an evening with the Long Bay Symphony at the Marina Park in Conway. All of them have been well received and create a lot of excitement.
Absolutely. The Rhythm on the River is huge.
Well, thank you.
Rain or shine.
Well, we've had a bad experience with it in year 1, but the last 2 years have just, the weather's cooperated, and it's been a very nice evening.
And that Kingston Golf Classic's been going on for a heck of a long time, Bert.
Yeah, this will be our 11th year this year, and it's grown to now we have 192 golfers. We have about 60 or 65 sponsors, and it's just like the Winter Gala. We get those same sponsors back. People really seem to enjoy it, and it's a good event. It's a 3-day event.
And these events, Berns, are not only important for the raising money aspect, but by building the name, I guess, of the foundation as well.
Oh yeah, it gets our name out into the community, and in addition, we build a lot of friendships through those. And you know, I think the events are vital to the ongoing success of the foundation.
Berns, when you think about this past year, 2003, of course, the 15th year of the foundation, having been set up in 1988, is there any accomplishment in particular of which you're probably most proud? It's such a huge year, and so many great things happened. I heard about at the foundation. Anything in particular when you think about the whole year? There's just so many aspects of it.
Well, I think that the diabetes program has been on the radar screen for such a long time, and I think to have started the process to get that going to start raising the money for that, to see the community acceptance of that program, and to realize how much help that can be for the community. I think that's what we are most proud of in this year is that we're going to really start fighting diabetes.
You heard him say it, fighting diabetes. A man who was stamping cigarettes in second grade, who for a quarter of a century was with the same institution and married his childhood sweetheart, Berns Massey. Thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you, Greg. I appreciate it very much.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People coming up next. We want to thank Berns Massey and all the staff at the Conway Medical Center Foundation, as well as all the amazing volunteers that make the 3 annual events tick, for making today's Carolina People so special.